Hey, welcome back.
Hey, Evolve Nation.
Welcome to this episode about desire.
Yeah, I actually came up with the episode topic because you
Oh, yeah, that's right.
came up to me the other day and not came up to me. We were sitting at the table and you were
Just
like,
came up to you. I was
just
like,
like, hello.
yo, hey.
You were like, hey, can I express myself to you? And then you mentioned that lately in the relationship, you have not felt desired. And I was honestly taken back a little bit because I was like, excuse me, I think I'm doing a great job at desiring you. And the more I researched into this topic, and then I realized he's right. I'm not showing him desire or anything according to what desire means, right? Because I think it's so easy to say, well, I appreciate you and I show you love and I care for you. And that was exactly what happened. I said, well, what happens when I come up behind you and I give you a hug from behind? He said, well, in that moment I feel cared for. And I was like, what? I was like, but that's my way of showing you desire. Like, I desire you in that moment. And so I think my definition of what I was doing to show you desire wasn't exactly equivalent to what it was that you might need in order to feel desire. So sometimes I think that I'm doing it right, but I'm missing the boat completely. And so I appreciate you expressing yourself to me, and I appreciate you expressing that to me, because otherwise I would have just kept doing the same things I've been doing over and over and over, thinking that I'm doing the right thing. And because I don't know otherwise, then you expressing that to me makes me feel, okay, now I know. Now I can do something about it. So I very much appreciate you.
Thanks. Yeah. And I'll say from my part, that took a lot of courage. I was vulnerable, like part of me was like, Eric, like, just don't bring this up. I remember even the way that I brought it up, I think was like, certainly I asked if I could share. And then I said, I want to feel more desired in our relationship. It's funny you said, I don't feel desired, because it would make sense that that's how somebody would take it.
That's
right?
how I took it.
Yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
hurt.
Exactly. That's how it landed.
But that's how everything lands with me.
But I'm saying, like, I think you're very
Kate,
common.
you
Somebody
suck.
says, if in your if in your marriage you come up and you say, I want to feel more desired, immediately what your partner might think is, oh,
Kate,
they
you
don't feel
suck.
desired by me, right?
Yeah.
Or Kate, you suck. Yeah, even if their name's not
You're
Kate, maybe you
terrible.
feel.
Yeah.
And so that took a lot of courage for a lot of reasons, because part of me was like, I didn't want to disrupt the equilibrium. Things were okay. We were good. We were having fun. It was fine. And I was like, I don't want this to add like a problem, right?
Tension.
To kind of, mess up the gears. But then there was another part of me which was like, as soon as I mention this, Kate's going to go into fix it mode, work mode, and be like, what would I be doing differently if you felt more desired?
Didn't at all.
And I was like, I don't really have an answer for that. And so what ended up happening was I expressed myself. You did go into that, which was like, okay, what would I be doing differently if you? And my response was, hey, I actually haven't thought that far. I don't really have an answer for that, but I did want to just express how I'm feeling, which is I want to feel more desired.
Yeah.
And I just wanted that to exist right now.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we left that conversation maybe with a little bit of like, okay, like it's not really resolved and wrapped up in a neat little package.
Yes. I think it's wrapped in a neat package that now needs to be discovered.
Yeah. And so I think that's what we're going to talk about today, but also kind of break down what desire means to, us, what gets in the way of desire typically in a relationship, because I do think it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think though that yes, the conversation isn't complete. Yes, there's still information shared, but I think a first step of you just acknowledging that in yourself and sharing it with me is a huge step. And I think that already the wheels are turning. And even though we haven't had much more discussion about it or haven't spoken about it any deeper, because this was a couple days ago, doesn't mean that the wheels aren't turning and things aren't starting to happen, because I think the first step in anything, when you're feeling something in your relationship, it's so important to express yourself and to talk about it. So I do appreciate at least starting that, getting the ball rolling on that.
Yeah. So, and before we break this down so you can bring this conversation into your own marriage, we'll start with a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Do you want to start it off?
I forgot what it was.
All right, then. So I think we can start by asking, what do you think is getting in the way of you feeling more desired in our marriage?
Yes.
Right. So would you like to answer that?
I can answer it. I think that I am not necessarily worthy. This is a story I make up myself.
Sure.
So I have this idea of like, I'm a burden. I'm not worthy of your love. I ask for too much. If I ask for more, I'm going to be too much. So I think those thoughts that I have that I've made up in my own head, because you've never really done anything to prove those true, get in the way of me asking for what it is that I need and want. Sometimes in the marriage, I don't necessarily feel like I'm worth your time or like I'm worth your energy or I'm worth your attention. But that's a story I've made up myself. So I think that's the barrier.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's pretty real. Right? I think a lot
Very
of people
real.
can relate. I think for me, it's probably similar to a lot of men's plight as well, is that I tie my ability to feel desired directly to whether or not I am performing. And so what often gets in the way of me feeling desired, and this is like kind of deep, right? Because I think I've done a lot of work on this. Like there's plenty of times when you're doing things that from the outside in would be like, well, that's an example, right? Like, yeah, I'm doing this thing, Eric, I'm doing this thing. And it is true, but then that's what I mean by it's a two-way street. There needs to be an openness within me to receive it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think so in those moments, what typically happens is I don't believe that my performance as a man, I'm not talking about sexual performance here. I'm talking about like my ability to all this crap that I brought with me about what it means to be a man, to protect, to provide, to have all the answers, to make my wife happy, make sure my kids have a good life, all this crap that I carry with me as a burden. Whenever I don't believe that I'm measuring up to like the highest level of that, it's very hard for me to believe that I'm desired by you.
Right.
Right. So sometimes you'll desire me and I'm like, oh, like my business is not going well, or I'm not exercising as much as I want to be, or I don't look the way I want to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So how could she possibly desire me?
That's right.
If I don't even desire myself.
Exactly. Right. And so that's so important because this is really deep here. And we have a lot of people, and we used to do this as well, where it's like you're trying to get your partner to jump through hoops, think eventually you're going to get there. Eventually you're going to get there. Eventually they're going to do the thing that I need them to do. But in all reality is that even if they do the thing, the action that could lead to you feeling desired, if you are not open to receiving it, if you don't believe that you are desirable, it's never going to land.
Or worthy. I think we kind of said the same thing in different ways. Like you don't believe you're desirable. I don't believe I'm worthy of your time and energy and being desired.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of saying the same thing. So I think that's probably a very common way of people.
Yeah. And so I think the first step really is that we can move into bringing into this conversation is you having this conversation with yourself, which is, do I truly believe that I am desirable, like exactly as I am? Or is it that I need to do that? I am only desirable if X, Y, and Z. So maybe you think you're overweight. And so you're like, am I desirable or do I need to lose weight to be desirable? Maybe you lost your job, right? This used to happen to me, right? When I lost my job, it was like, well, no way Kate wants to be with me now. I'm a total failure. Like I need to have a job, right? And so it was like, it's very hard for me to believe that Kate still desired me and thought I was attractive and loved me because I didn't have a job.
Yeah. And
Right?
just because those truths are real for you does not mean that truth is real for your spouse.
That's right. So you have to start to think about, where do I project my ideas, my insecurities onto my partner and prevent myself from receiving the desire we're talking about here, but really the love, the care, whatever. Right. And that's some deep work there that you're going to have to do. So the first step is, how do I get in the way of me feeling desired? This is all your work. Not if only my partner could. That's a later problem. It's how do I get in the way of me feeling desired?
Yeah. And I think another thing that we can start looking at is, as my spouse, do I want my spouse? Do I, Kate, want Eric? I think oftentimes what happens, and kind of what I've said at the beginning, is the feeling of being wanted is replaced by the feeling of being needed or used. So Eric feels in our marriage very needed, very useful. He's very, I would assume you're feeling very like, my family enjoys having me around because I make dinners, because I clean, because I'm there when the kids are sick. So Kate probably appreciates that when the kids are sick, they stay home with me. So there's all these truths that you have about our relationship where you're needed and useful in this relationship, but you don't necessarily feel wanted by me. You don't feel like, if I took away my need to make dinners, the fact that I'm there for the kids, blah, blah, blah. If I took that all away, does Kate still want me?
Yeah.
We didn't have kids. If I didn't have my job, does Kate still want me? And I think oftentimes the answer is probably not.
Yeah. And I'll use this analogy, I often use, and is that, if you think about those trapeze artists, I'm talking about circus, right?
Yeah.
They jump on things. Right, exactly. And so,
I always wanted to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds so exciting, right? So a lot of times when we view our relationship or we view our role in the relationship, we think about what you're talking about, which is to be useful and needed. And so in that moment, in that trapeze set, right, we play the net on the bottom. We're like the net. We're always there. Yeah.
The spouse.
That's
Gotcha.
who I'm needed, right? So you're up there doing the trapeze thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like the net. You're like, Eric's good. If I miss dinner, Eric's going to step up.
Yeah.
Eric's going to make sure that our mortgage gets paid. I don't really have to worry too much about finance. So the safety net, right? If I have a bad day and I can't take care of the kids, Eric's going to be there. He'll step in, vice versa. And this is not just like Kate playing this into me. I play this into Kate as well. This is what we do in relationships, right? We create a scenario where we lean on our partner to be our quote unquote safety net, right? So this is a very normal attachment style relationship. It's why we're able to have kids. It's why we're able to do hard things together. It's good. Now, what often happens in our relationship is I'm the trapeze net and I look at your life and you're up there having a lot of great time with those things. You're like, woohoo, this is amazing. I'm having so much fun. And I'm like, yep, I wish you had that relationship with me. I wish you were having a lot of fun up there.
You want me to swing on you like a swing?
Exactly. And so the analogy is, I think for a lot of us as spouses, sure, I'm the safety net and I get it. And there's value to that. But what I want is for you to experience your relationship with me as like the swings, right? And oftentimes through attrition, through comfort, through being in a long-term relationship, we no longer put effort into rediscovering our partner and having that type of relationship with them. So that type of relationship is often the trapeze relationship. We're like, woohoo, this is so much fun. That's outsourced.
Yes.
You bring that to your friends. You bring that to maybe a family member, your girlfriends you're traveling with, right?
Different clubs you're in, or different sports teams.
Exactly. And we realized that even in our relationship, right? At a time, we said we're living as two individuals who have these really great lives and we're supporting each other in creating these really great lives. But a lot of the great things we do aren't together. I'll go on men's retreats and I'll go climb mountains. Kate will go on yoga retreats. Kate's going out with her girlfriends. I'll go out and play with my buddies.
We're both traveling at different places, at different times, with separate people.
But when it comes to our relationship, a lot of our relationship falls into we're each other's safety net, not we're each other's kind of fun swing around thing.
Yeah. So what desire is in a relationship is that feeling of being chosen, that feeling of being your partner's person.
And wanted too, right?
Yeah. Chosen, wanted, noticed. Some of us, some of the desire is so far gone that, Eric could be home or not, and I probably wouldn't even notice him at some points in our relationship. We have been there. Life does take over, and we get so busy with everything that sometimes I'll cross Eric in like the bathroom in the morning, and I'm like, oh, hey, stranger, haven't seen you in a while. Like, however, we have slept in the same bed every night and seen each other, had dinner together, but with our family. Like, we've just been so busy in each other's individual lives that we're not even noticing each other. Like, Eric will get haircuts and I'm like 5 days later, like, oh, you got your haircut. And it's like, well, yeah, like last week. So feeling noticed and feeling appreciated. The fact that we have very parallel lives. Am I even taking the time to thank Eric for being there and for, giving me the opportunity and working together to have a life where we can travel and do retreats and men's retreats and yoga retreats and all these things. Like, are we actually stopping and being like, wow, high five, like, look at us having this amazing life? No, oftentimes it's what's next. And in a lot of relationships, it's 50-50. Well, you went to a men's retreat for 3 days with your
now it's my turn.
Group. I need to go somewhere for 3 days because that's only fair. So what happens is this desire is being replaced by fairness, equality, busyness, and just living these parallel lives. And we're forgetting our partner and all.
Yeah, especially the fun kind of alive aspects, which then get outsourced. So For us, what we think about when it comes to desire, we break it down into two different aspects, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the desire to feel emotionally desired, right? And then there's the physical desire.
Yes.
And so a lot of people, we kind of mix it up. And this is like the classic argument of like, you know, for a lot of, I'm saying women here, but obviously I'm overly generalizing, but it's like women want to feel emotionally connected before they experience physical desire. Men like to experience physical desire before they're able to feel emotionally connected. But both of them matter. Both of them are important. We have just both been raised to believe that, you know, hey, I typically need to hang out in this realm, right? So women are not allowed to feel like they want, you know, to have great sex and to open up about that. Men are not allowed to open up about their emotions and what they want and how they want to feel appreciated and admired. So you end up in these realms that are often disconnected, but also are both important to exist. Men, you know, for me, I often say this, you know, a lot of times we talk to couples and they say a lot of the men relate more to Kate and a lot of women relate more to me. I'm kind of an open, emotional guy, right? I feel a lot of feelings. So to me, feeling emotionally desired is often more impactful for me than feeling physically desired, right? And so it might be different for everybody. And so when you think about feeling emotionally desired, we're talking about, you know, I feel valued by my partner. I feel admired by my partner. My partner is talking about how they want me, how they appreciate me. Maybe even they're not just saying this to me, but they're saying it openly to others. You know, one of the things that really excites me is when you talk to others about how much you appreciate me. Right. Like that feels great, right? We're in a circle and you'll be like, hey, you know, Eric just did this thing and I just love it when he does this. It's so awesome. Or it's so sexy. In that moment when you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, I feel awesome, right?
Yeah.
But then other people might need the physical, you know, they might need to be touched and held and they might need to like have somebody run their hands on their body and say, I love this part of you, etc.
Yeah. And I think the physical is also just the physical presence of another person. I think that, you know, physical desire can also be a romantic aspect of a relationship where it's like, I want to spend time with you. I want to be with you. I want to physically be in the same area as you. Some people, like I know for you, like you would be very satisfied if, you know, I would send you voice messages and messages of like how great you are and how much you fill my life with joy and everything else. But it's not the same for me. If you send me a bunch of like, I appreciate you, I love you, you're so important to me in my life. Yeah, it hits. For sure it hits. It's like, thank
Eric,
you.
stop blowing up my phone.
But I'm like, but to me, I feel a lot more desired if you're showing me I want to spend time with you. I physically want to be sitting beside you today. I miss being with you, so I want to be with you. And not even sexually, like we're fully dressed, just reading on a couch. Like that to me is like, wow, Eric desires me way more than a text message saying how amazing I am and how impactful my presence is in your life.
Scale of 1 to 10, how often, scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate you feeling desired by me? 10 being like, I feel super desired by you. You know, you feel super desired by me. 1 is like, oh, I don't really feel desired by you.
I feel like you've been very busy with and distracted with work lately. So I'm like in the 4s.
Oh, ouch. Well, thank you for your honesty. Wow, I was like, she's going to say 6. And
no, it was like a 4.
Well, thanks for your honesty.
It's like with the baseball playoff.
I've been gone. I get a baseball playoff.
Oh now it's God. Over. God.
You let all the secrets out.
Yesterday we were watching the final game and I'm like, oh my gosh, can this just finish? And he was like laughing and I'm like, I need to go to bed, but also I need my husband back is what I was saying in my head. Oh yeah.
Thanks for being open about that.
Yeah.
And
what about you?
Totally
I'm probably a 4.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say you're not a 4. I think you're like a
2.
You know, this moment, like I want to be nice because now I'm like, well, I don't want to say. But I guess when I really think about it, no, I would say like a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think lately, especially since I said that the other day. Yeah, it's having an impact. And yeah, no, I would say a 6. Certainly, I think you've been more affectionate and you've really brought more attention to our relationship. And yeah, that is really nice. Let's go. Let's go into action mode.
Okay, well, no, but maybe I know you were going to be like, what could I be doing differently in order for 100%. You to feel more desired? No, okay, so now this is what you can be doing differently. So we're going to give you 5 tools. You can start, pick one of the 5s to feel more desired, or to help your spouse feel more desired in the relationship. Or maybe this is something you can ask for from your spouse in order to feel more desired. So
fire.
I came up with like 5 things that like, you can do that like right now, no money, no time. There you go. Just do it.
Yeah, let's run through them.
Okay. First one, noticing and naming what it is that you desire. So that would be like the first step.
What would that look
kind
like?
of like, I would notice what it is that I would like. I want to spend more time with Eric. So I'm noticing that, I'm feeling lonely in this relationship. Eric's sending me these texts. Like, it's nice, but it's like, I need more. I need more. I need your time. So I'm noticing.
And attention.
attention.
I need your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what draws me in, what makes me feel desired, and be very specific about it. And then what would then happen is I would tell you, here, this is what I need from you, and this is specifically what I need from you. So Eric, I need us to sit and watch a movie together, but I need us to sit and watch a movie together without you having a bunch of distractions, getting up 100 times, reading while we're watching the movie, answering emails, answering texts. I need you to fully be present. That would make me feel like you're really there, really in tune, and really want to be just with me.
I love that. Yeah. I will commit to doing that tonight. And I'm going to make sure that we can include massaging your feet and being in the moment and picking a movie that we both enjoy.
Okay.
We'll do that tonight.
Nice. Thank you. So that would be noticing and naming. I'm noticing in myself what it is that I need. I'm noticing deeper than like, I don't like when Eric's on his phone. Don't want him to be on his tablet. I don't like when we're doing this. I'm noticing what it is that I need in those moments when Eric is on his tablet, we're sitting together, because we will oftentimes be in the same room, because I think that that's important.
Yeah, well, you'll watch shows, I'll be reading. Yeah, sure.
But it's like, I need more than that. That's not enough. And what is it? I think I need you to be away from me. That's what I need. So that's by me noticing and naming what it is that I need.
And before we move on to the second one, I think as the partner, for me now, it's really important for me to say thank you for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing your request and being direct about what you needed. I think that really helps me be a better partner and make our relationship better. Because I know that must have been a lot of courage.
I didn't. I'm very excited.
Well, there you go. Awesome. All right. So number 2.
Yeah, appreciating without an agenda. I think oftentimes...
I don't know what that is.
I'm going to tell you.
I have an agenda for everything.
Yeah, no. Yes, you do. So I think oftentimes what happens is we're very good at complimenting. We're very good at saying, oh, I really love it when you make dinner for the kids and I, but can you add more vegetables next time? I think we often use compliments as a way of like disguising a request. In order for your partner to feel desired, giving a compliment, appreciating your partner for whatever reason, without an agenda, without like, thanks for this, or I really like it when you do that, and having no other reason but to say, hey, I really appreciate that. And that's it. I'm not using this as an intro to ask for something else. I'm not using it as a sandwich method. It's really just, I am sending my partner appreciation without it leading to anything, without it, I really liked it the other night when you massaged my feet, hoping that I'm going to get my foot massaged again.
That's right. Yeah, I think just compliment. And I think a little cheat code here that I want to invite people to take on is that for me, what really changed was I switched from Kate needs more compliments to I am a man who compliments his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think like that was like an identity for me. I think about that a lot. Like even, I like to give a lot of compliments, and it's not because like I want everybody to feel better. I'm actually because I want to be a guy who notices things and compliments people. Yeah. So it's like, it's tied into my identity. And I even think about this, even one step further before we move on to number 3 is like, and I don't know if you notice this, but I'm a person who just like talks about really nice things that I'm grateful for. So oftentimes, like I'll be around people and they notice that about me. They're like, man, you're just like constantly talking about how awesome everything is. And I'm like, yeah, because I want to make a conscious point to notice the beauty in the world. And not only do I think that, again, like only because that's who I want to be. And not only do I think that makes an impact on others, which is great as a bonus, but it actually shapes how I view the world, right? Because, man, I'm just like looking at life and I'm just like, life's awesome. Like our relationship's sure, it's not always perfect. Sure, sometimes there's pain. Sure, sometimes, but I get to decide what I want to focus on. And so again, the compliment thing, it's like, I am a man who compliments his wife. And the more I sit into that identity, the more I compliment my wife. And sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. That's not relevant to me.
Yeah, I think the whole goal here is to make appreciation, make desire feel safe for your spouse and not create this pressure. So oftentimes, like it's sometimes hard for somebody to accept a compliment, or sometimes hard for somebody to accept appreciation because they're like, but Because
Mhm.
oftentimes, and that's everywhere, like everyone teaches the sandwich method. One nice thing, one, what you need to work on, and then another nice thing. Like everyone uses it. And yes, it's a really healthy way to, share some hard messages. But by doing that in your relationship and by only complimenting in order to get something, you're taking away that safety when it comes to appreciation, when it comes to compliments. So you're really removing some pressure here by just saying, hey, I love this about you, or this is great about you.
Yeah. Number 3 is my favorite.
Yes,
Love is
playful
fun.
energy. And
Love is
that's
fun.
something that we've talked about often in our relationship is what's missing. It's that playful energy between the two of us.
Fun,
You have
life
playful
energy.
energy in your work. You have playful energy in your life on your side of the street. I have playful energy at my work. And on my side of the street, we have playful energy with the kids. But when it comes to being together and with both of us, that playful energy is gone. So what that looks like is, flirting again, sending spontaneous messages, sending funny gifts or funny, voice messages to each other,
Laughing
or
together,
yeah, just being playful again, being friends first. I think oftentimes we kind of lose that in the day-to-day busyness. We forget that, like, hey, we were friends first. Like, we were buddies before we were lovers. We were like, we had a good time in the beginning of our relationship, and then somehow life got so busy we kind of forgot that.
Mhm.
So those are like easy ways to create desire again, because when you're playful with your partner, it really leads to this like really curious energy, reignites that spark that's kind of been missing. You kind of see your partner in this new light, this new like lighthearted light where, yeah, your life is busy and you have a lot of obligations and you have a lot of, responsibilities, but you can stop and just have this like moment of like laughing or playfulness, and it just reminds you like, oh, right, here's my silly
And it
husband I
removes
love.
so much, right? It removes tension, it removes stress, it can heal a lot.
Mhm,
I agree. For me, as you're saying this, like when we laugh and have fun and we're silly and like that's what I feel the most connected to you. I'm like,
mhm,
we're on fire. Like this is awesome.
mhm.
So yeah, for me, this is one of the most connecting and what opens my like pleasure connector the most, which is like when we're having fun, I am way open to pleasure, to connection, to doing whatever. And so yeah, like think about in your relationship, like how often do you and your spouse like actively laugh out loud together? How often do you are silly together in a way that feels good for
Yeah.
both of you?
Do you have inside jokes?
Mhm.
Like, you probably used to have inside jokes. When's the last time you pulled one of those out? Like,
Yeah,
promise, promise?
that's right. Yeah, exactly. So really important to bring more flirtation, playfulness, spontaneity, etc.
Yeah.
Number 4?
The fourth one is presence over performance. So oftentimes when we're trying to rekindle that desire, when we're trying to rekindle that spark, we often perform. We'll do things like, plan dates or bring flowers, or we try to do these big gestures that aren't natural. And this is kind of what I requested from you
Mhm.
is I asked Eric to spend more time together. Eric gave me that. We spend more time together. However, his presence not there. You're sitting on your tablet, you're answering messages, you're maybe doing work on your laptop. There's no presence there. The performance is there. His
Mhm.
body is where I asked him to be. His body is beside me in the same area, and we're spending time together. But the presence is there. The performance is not.
Yeah, and I really wanna kinda take this to the next level before we move on to number 5, because even what we talked about earlier, which was like, "Hey, can you sit in front of this tablet?" I could easily bring that into performance mode, right? Like,
Mhm.
okay, I have to sit down, I have to just be still, I have to, like, massage Kate's feet, I have to, like I'm going through the steps. That's not being present, right? And so again, like, we can feel that. I think about this, like, in the sexual realm, like, how many times we can feel our partner performing. I can feel
Mhm.
that in Kate, I'm sure she can feel it in me. And there's times when, like, we'll have sex together and afterwards she's like, "Hey, Eric, where were you there?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, "It's all good." "No, like, it just felt like you were somewhere else." And it's like, "Fair, yeah, like, I was we were in the middle of having sex, I was thinking about something else," right? And so, again, like, sometimes on the outside, it can seem like you're taking the steps, but it's actually a lot of inner work here to, like, for me tonight, to be in that movie, I have to make sure I'm cleared up in my headspace,
Mhm.
maybe I do a little bit of breathing before, and I'm really there, right? And I'm engaged, and I'm connecting with Kate, so
Mhm.
that afterwards, she's not like, "What was your favorite part?" And I'm like, I don't even know what happened in that
Yeah.
movie. I was so distracted."
Yeah. And when you're there, you're listening, you're
Mhm.
engaged, you're active, you're not distracted. And if tonight, for example, you have too much on your mind, you're like, I got this deadline, I've got things to do. It's better and more respectful and kinder to your partner to say, hey, I'm going to have to cancel this, movie watching session we were supposed to have tonight, or I'm going to have to cancel this plans we had tonight because I cannot fully be there and engaged. I have too many things on my mind. I cannot let this go. I have to finish this tonight, and I want to be there for you, and I want to be 1000% present in this moment with you. So can we move it to another time?
Yeah.
And naming that time, because there's nothing worse than having someone agree to something and then not follow through. It creates this disconnect. It reinforces the idea of, oh, my partner doesn't desire me. They just need me. I'm just a mom in the home for him. I'm just an extra set of hands for him to help out around the home. I want to feel desired. I really want to feel like you're around. So if you're not able to be present and be active and engaged, it's better off to be kind and just change it to another time.
Love that. So let's wrap up with number 5.
Number 5 is continue pursuing each other. Plan something new, spontaneous surprises. Remind them that they're worth your effort, because oftentimes we do things out of automatics, things that are easy. We do things that, we've been doing for the last 100 years. Every Valentine's Day, I buy my wife flowers. It's like, that's nice. I'm sure it's appreciated. Does it really show that you're pursuing them? Does it really show that you're engaged and active, and that you that they're truly, truly worth your effort? So desired needs pursuit, not an autopilot. So if you're running on autopilot, if your relationship is kind of following its course, it's kind of Groundhog Day, it's the same thing all the time, we have traditions and things we do at the same time all the time, maybe it's time to switch that up. Maybe it's time to show your partner, hey, you're actually worth the effort that goes beyond what we're just used to doing.
Yeah, and I love that. And I think, for me, like a really simple way, and again, find what's appropriate for a relationship, but I often think about like a great way to pursue your partner, especially women doing this for men, right? Because I think about this, you doing this for me would be, I'm actually going to request this of you, but like buying new underwear for your man, right? I think a lot of times women, I hear like, you love seeing me in a certain type of underwear. It's like nice and stuff like that. But then sometimes, a lot of guys out there, they're just wearing like old, holy underwear. It's like, we don't care about that. We're just like, whatever. And so sure, some guys probably are good and they buy nice underwear, but it's actually a pretty awesome gesture. Like it would feel really good if you bought me like a few nice pair of underwear.
That's so funny, because to me, it's like I buy underwear for my son. To me, it's a very motherly thing.
Ooh.
So I would never assume that that's a way for you to feel desired. I would think, yeah, okay, I care for you. Here's some new underwear. But I didn't think that would be a way to desire you. So that's good. I'm glad you said that, because that would not be on my radar of ways that I could surprise you and spoil you.
And it's funny because oftentimes when I wear new underwear and they look great, you mention it. You're like, wow, like you look great in those, right?
Yeah, I also mentioned
talked about the other day,
like
jogging
underwear
pants and a hat, right? Like, so like it'd be great. You're like, you said that, like, I love seeing you in nice jogging pants. Like, it'd be cool if you went out and bought a nice pair of jogging pants for me. And you're like, hey, I bought these for you. I just love seeing you in these, right?
Yeah.
And again, pick something that's appropriate. I think about like, I'm going to buy Kate some lingerie. I'm not going to buy things that's all wired up with 3 different kinds of hats and stuff. Like you buy something that's like appropriate for your relationship.
I didn't know you were a hat guy.
Well, you know what I mean? But like, I know Kate doesn't like having wires all over her body. Like, so, okay, I'm going to find something that's tasteful and nice, but that says, hey, look, I would like you to wear this just because I want to appreciate seeing you in this, right? Yeah. You say a lot about pajamas, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go and I'll buy pajamas and I'll buy really comfortable one that's flannel that I know Kate's going to like, that she's like, I love wearing this pajama, right? And for me, might be like, good, I'm glad you're comfortable, but it doesn't bring any erotic energy. And then I might add something a little bit spicier, but is still comfortable. Is still something that you would actually wear to bed.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of times, especially early in relationships, where a guy buys underwear and it's like, you didn't buy. This is just like a costume. Like, I'm not wearing this to bed,
I'm just going to sleep like this.
Yeah, again. So again, that's, if it's appropriate, but there's a lot of ways that you can do this. It's like, if you like seeing your partner in hats, buy him a nice ball cap. Like sometimes you don't have to buy them stuff. You can just create something, do something in order to help them feel pursued.
Yeah, I think the key word here is newness. Create that spark, reignite that spark, reignite that curiosity. Try to find ways that you can bring some newness, some new playful energy in your relationship. So we've shared 5 ways that you can spark desire in your relationship. What we want from you this week is for you to try one of those things and see what the outcome is. Just try one of the 5, whether it's to notice and name it, send appreciation without any agenda, have more playful energy in your relationship, flirt, have fun, be present when your spouse is requesting you, be really present and be in the moment. Put away your phone, put away anything else that might be distracting you. Find some time away from the kids, find some time away from other things that might be distracting. Or maybe to pursue your spouse in a way that's new and fun and different.
Yeah. And if you want, we break this down in our Reignite Your Marriage Blueprint. This is an extended multiple trainings you can download totally free, our gift to you, so you can start taking action in this week.
Thanks for being here.